I've only had 4 jobs, and in 1994 I was playing racquetball, and someone that was a friend of mine said, I'm putting all my money into the internet. And I said, it's a fad, but it's your money. And he said, you want in? I'm like, sure. So 21 years later, in 2015, I sold out, but we grew very fast, and we were the largest digital internet marketing company in Florida, and life was good. We only dealt with Fortune 100. This is my ego, you know, if you weren't Rooms to Go and Send It in Delaware North and Florida Hospital and Miami Children's Hospital or Hubbard, Wharton Smith, Rinker, then you couldn't talk to me. But here I am talking to y'all because I'm part of this group, and this morning's thing, Nicole, wherever they went, they were great. That was the most, I could talk about what you talked about, but I only have 20 minutes. And to talk about outreach through the internet or marketing or sales, because all of this is great, but who wants more sales? If you don't, if you don't, then something's wrong, and nothing happens without it, right? And sales guys, they can be hunters, and they can be order takers, and it depends on what you're selling. Is it a commodity or a relationship? I bought a car from someone and told them, I don't even like you. And I'll never buy a car from you again, but I want that car at that price, so I'll do it. But most of the people in this room are probably relationship sales, right? So how are you gonna get to people? How are you gonna find them? Everything's dead, direct mail. It still works, but everything's internet, internet, internet. And by the way, I haven't done this in a long time. I used to speak in front of large groups, but little groups make me more nervous. And each one of these, I could have listed 20 of them, and then we could go granular and into each one, you know, different components. So I talked 4 hours yesterday with a potential client about number 2 alone, and they still didn't understand a word I said. So here we go. So everyone's heard of search engine optimization, right? Everybody wants to be at the front of Google. Well, before you do any internet marketing, right, it's about keyword research. And hardly anybody does this. Maestro? Chris talks a lot, but me and him have been, this is keyword research. People are like, what is it? How many fish are in the pool? Okay, so this particular client or prospect who's now a client, they said, we've gone from 30 million to 10 million. We have a problem, yeah, and you're gonna go out of business. So maybe its demand is down, okay? So I showed them through another software, there's 2 million searches a month on Google for what they do. So I don't see demand being the problem. I would imagine it's visibility, okay? But what? I asked you to check them out. You're fired. Okay. If it showed up for what they do, okay, there's 823,000 searches a month for what they sell. And then when you add on the variations, there's 2 million searches, okay? So I can't believe it, Chris. I'm going to kill you later. But keep going. Don't worry about it. Anyway, search engine optimization. I have a client for 17 years, right? And he's at number 1 on everything. Can you pull that up, maybe? A browser? Okay, pharmacy staffing agency. There he is, number 4. He's going to be pissy today. National company, $5 million. But we don't see Maxim up there, do we? And we don't see Solient or Cardinal. It doesn't matter. They're $6 billion, whatever. He's still beating them. So it's not about, Google doesn't care about how big you are. It doesn't care about, what it does care about is content. So back to the, you screwed me up with the keyword research. It was really impressive. Slideshow or? Whatever, I can just talk. You all have the thing. So there's 3 ways Google works. That's what you were supposed to pull up. There's AdWords. Does everybody know what AdWords are? Buying placement on Google? Okay, I'm just curious. What it is that you can bid on the keywords. And if you ever notice, and he was supposed to have it up there, when you go to results, was anybody bidding?
A couple of people.
You were supposed to pick one. See Crawford, Thomas? See that little ad? Okay, wouldn't be the spiritual thing to do, but if you click on it, guess what? They get whacked, their credit card. This is how Google, by the way, makes 68% of its money. It says ad, see, AD? Usually, if it's a really, like lawyer ones, there'll be 4, and then they'll go over to the side, okay? So it's about how competitive it is. More money is wasted on this in the history of internet marketing than any other venue. Go ahead.
Would Crawford have to pay for that? Do you have any roughly idea?
Great idea. If we had the spreadsheet, it would be, I have it on mine. I can put my hotspot on. But that's part of the keyword research and understanding it. There were 9 people in the room yesterday with me for 4 hours, so I had the advantage, right? Okay, because they didn't know a thing I was saying, really, but the accounting people sort of did. It tells you to stay in this position. Here's the cost. Here's how much you'll spend. Here's what you can expect. Cost per click. Blah blah blah. But that's not even part of it. I didn't want to go this far on any of this. But are you bidding on the right words? Okay, because I had a client. They were really large. They were up against Bosley Medical Hair Restoration. Hair loss, hair loss, hair loss. Got them number 1. They didn't make any money. Those people were not looking for their service, hair transplant surgery. They were looking for Rogaine, Propecia, hair club for men. So we switched it, and traffic went, but money went up because internet marketing, just like any other marketing, is return on investment. Now, back to the commodity or product versus a relationship, how do you judge that? So you get a questionnaire and you explain your business, because an internet marketing partner really has to know your business. They don't need to know SEO. That's the easy part. How do you make the money? What's a client worth to you? Some clients have it down to rocket science. I'm thinking of a guy, I wasn't going to use his name, Bob at Del Air. How much is a client worth? $17,342.21. I was like, whoa, okay, most people are like, I don't know. So when I'm leading at the pharmacy staffing guy, okay, he's got staffing under control. He really doesn't need me for the jobs, even though Google changed the jobs, and as Daryl knows, Indeed made the game totally different. But his consulting, when his phone rings, I want to start a pharmacy, okay, $30,000 minimum. Some of the consulting jobs are millions. So how many does he need, okay? It's a trick question I ask potential clients. How are you going to judge me? What's your KPIs, key performance indicators? And when they go traffic, I'm like, fail, because I could send you so much traffic, but it doesn't convert. There's 2 parts to internet marketing. Visibility, being at the front of Google, that doesn't make anybody any money. Conversion, if they're not converting, which is the most important part, there possibly is, then they have to go together. Okay, what's the next on there? By the way, I'm a little under the weather. My wife's been sick, so I took a Z-Pack, Tamiflu, and okay, so pay-per-click, Google AdWords. Jeffrey, I'm going to kill you, but we already talked a little about that, and people waste more money on this. There's so much you can do and control if a person really knows how to do this. This is like one of those things, don't try at home, and a lot of clients don't understand this. Google did a study 2 years ago, and 84% of people, including myself, type in 2 words, and then 4 out of 5 type in 6 to 12. In my world, it's called long-term query strings. Fancy verbiage for multiple word searches. Those are where the money's at, because those people are much further along in the buying process, okay? And if we had the spreadsheet up there, it would show you much less traffic, but the traffic is buying. They've already made a decision, okay, as far as doing homework or investigating something. So it's not about the 823,000 people a month that type in metal detectors. It's about the ones that, the 460 that say, where can I buy the best model, most expensive metal detector there is? Oh my God, they're buying it, you know what I mean? And they got money because they want to buy the most expensive. Okay, so enough on pay-per-clicks. Social media marketing. Click, click, click. Oh, stop, go back. This is the voodoo, title tags, meta tags, alt tags, items. I could make that list thing. The guy, the pharmacy staffing guy, my favorite client. 17 years you've been doing this, Bernie. I don't have a clue what you do, okay? It's magical, okay? That's the easy part. That takes no time, okay? What does take time is number 2, content is king. I've been preaching it for 20 years. When I flew up to Maxim, Adam did a whole thing for the IT, and I see, content is king, and he looks at me, you know, like, I know I stole it from you, but it's the truth. Who in here is an authority in what they do? Raise your hand, seriously. You guys, who's an authority? Who thinks they are? If you don't raise your hand, I'm kind of suspicious of why you're here. Okay, well, tell the world. That's what Google wants, okay? They want content unique, don't steal it, but ongoing, ongoing, ongoing. And to get to the organic, which is what I was showing you with the pharmacy staffing one, 6 blogs a month, 1,000 words, 1,500 words, unique content. Google rewards you. It's about being authoritative. But who's going to do it? That's the big question. I have clients that I'll write it and you do that magic. I have clients, you write it, we'll edit it. And then I have clients that just do it. I'm not even going to read it. Now that doesn't work so well legally in certain professions like lawyers and stuff. He goes, I'm not a lawyer, okay? But you gotta, and the evil word, blog. Oh my God, everybody, doctors are like, oh. Google doesn't care if it's a page, a blog post. We make up that differentiation. So when I took over the pharmacy guy, he had 30 pages on his site, so I rewrote them. Now he has 229 because I wrote 180 blogs. You know, one client calls them manifestos. Yes, I know how to code it. The reality is you are rewarded for content and it overrides the SEO. So if you had to choose, I'm going to hire an SEO company. I'm going to do content marketing. The content marketing will override the SEO. Google's smart. It'll finally figure out that SEO pushes you along, but the content makes you rise. Okay. Are you the authority? It's a long-term strategy, by the way. It took 9 months, 6 months minimum, depending on how competitive your industry is. Next. Google AdWords, instant gratification. Better have a big budget. You asked me how much do they bid, or someone did. I cannot say this word. Someone help me. Asbestos cancer. Thank you. $1,600 today for a click. But what's the return on investment? They get a case. It's really big. So it always comes down to that. When I was doing Send It, you can't spend $100 to sell a room for $50, can you? But you could sure spend $100 to try to get, you know, a $100,000 thing. Really competitive, you gotta have a bunch of money, and you better have an expert at this. Next. The worst presentation I've ever done. Social media, everybody thinks this is nirvana. Well, guess what? B2B, don't waste one penny. This is my opinion, by the way. I read a lot of studies. I hang with the social media influencers. No one can prove to me that business to business, anyone's ever made a penny. You do need Facebook, and why? Because of what you were talking about, culture. You know, if you have 50 people, 100 people, they want to see the company picnic and pictures and whose birthday it is. And if you're hiring, this is the first place someone goes and checks out your Facebook. So for those 2 reasons, everybody as a company should. And LinkedIn, just because it's so easy. And why not do it? And it could turn into money. It never did for me. B2C. you can kill it, okay? It's demographic dependent. But what I'm trying to say is, who uses it? Now, Facebook is dying, by the way, okay? I just want to be clear about that. I use Facebook instead of Snapchat and Instagram and Pinterest as an example. But you can really, really target where your audience hangs out, okay? In other words, if you know someone's drinking wine, because that's what they talk about or it's part of their thing, you can, within a certain geographic area, just show Facebook ads to them or sponsor your posts and pick who sees it. And it's relatively cheap, okay? But be aware if you're a company and you're doing content and you're doing Facebook, the Boston Celtics, this is the greatest one, 11 million followers, okay? So he finally figures out last year, 11 million followers, but when I send it out, only 263,000 see it. Why is that? Because Facebook wants money boosting the post. So really, he goes, I don't have 11 million followers, I have 263,000. You know, go ahead, 4 minutes. You can target, it's pretty reasonable. What's left? What's the second largest search engine? We all know Google is 74%. So what's the Bing? Anyone else? Yahoo. Fail. YouTube, okay? So if he could make it work, YouTube is the future. Google paid a lot of money for YouTube. And if you do the videos correct, they can be pulled into the Google results. So for Florida Hospital, I could not get them to the front for years under a certain type of cancer, but they had a video that was number 4. So Google was experimenting with this, but a lot of you might know there's a video tab now, okay? And if they do something, wrong slide, if they do something that is show me how, like we had a client, a big tie manufacturer, he got $1 million a month on how do I tie a tie, okay? We have an AC company, filter manufacturer in Chicago, and how do you install the AC filter? And she bends over, not to be offensive, but it gets a lot of views, okay? I don't know who can install an AC filter, but you're all following. Vimeo, pre-roll, okay? Who hates those annoying, you gotta watch the ads? But I do it for clients, car dealers. It's cheap and they get a lot of views from it. And it's just part of the video scene, okay? Which is the one we skipped because we're done. Oh, email marketing. Direct mail, right? You had to wait, it was awful. Cost a lot of money, postage. It's the same with email marketing. The list, the list, the list, 3 most important factors. But what most people don't understand is if you have a big data, everybody knows everything about us. I hate when people say they target my credit card. I'm like, they already have it all, okay? They know everything about you. So it's reasonably priced, but scrub lists is the key. Getting a list that's really, and you can buy a list for anything. Auto intenders, those 3 car dealers, how they know it, I could explain. It's very involved, but within their dealerships, 15 miles, they know who's buying a car in 90 days. So then the 30 days drops off, they add the next 30 days, okay? I mean, any list you could possibly want. Sometimes you could even get their personal emails because everybody has more than one email, right? But you rent the list. It's not like direct mail. You have to keep paying, and they won't give you the list. And you have to send it more than once. Depends. Am I done?
I think so.
Yay. I could really, when I feel well, talk about any of these things for hours and answer any questions. I just don't have enough time today. But thanks for your time. I think I hit some of the major points. Didn't confuse everyone. Sometimes I've been told I go way too technical. And next, we have Chris.
Chris from
And he's going to talk smack, and nobody talks smack better than this guy. Okay. So thanks for your time.